96 seconds, 1 minute and 36 seconds. Congressman Adam Schiff stood up, held a classified intelligence breach report above his head, and asked the question that would silence the entire chamber for over a minute and a half. Mr. Miller, this Office of the Director of National Intelligence Damage Assessment identifies 67 separate classified information leaks to media outlets between January and April of this year. All 67 leaks originated from DHS computer terminals. 23 of those leaks came from IP addresses registered to your office. These leaks compromised active operations, endangered intelligence sources, and violated federal espionage statutes. So I have one very direct question for you. Why did classified information leak from your office 23 times in 4 months, and who authorized those disclosures? Miller's face drained of color. Not slowly. Instantly, like someone had just realized they were caught in something they thought was hidden forever. His lead attorney's pen fell from his hand and hit the table. The sound echoed. His second attorney was already standing halfway out of her chair before she realized standing would look worse. And Adam Schiff, former federal prosecutor, the man who chaired the House Intelligence Committee, the congressman who spent years investigating classified information handling and foreign intelligence threats, had not even shown them the leak timeline analysis yet. If you are new to Patel Report files, subscribe right now, because what you are about to witness is someone who ran intelligence oversight, destroying someone who thought leaking classified information would go undetected. House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, Secure Hearing Room, Tuesday afternoon, 3:41 p.m. Eastern. The hearing was listed as Closed Session, Classified Information Security Protocols Review. Closed session. No cameras allowed initially, but 20 minutes into the hearing, Schiff moved to declassify portions of the proceedings and open the doors. The motion passed unanimously. The cameras came in, and Miller realized he had just been trapped in a public hearing about classified leaks he thought would stay secret. Schiff arrived with a locked safe box. Steel, combination lock, classified materials, transport container. Security verified it. Schiff opened it only after the room was secured and all non-cleared personnel were removed. Inside that box was an ODNI damage assessment report, 340 pages, completed 6 weeks earlier, classified as top secret until a FISA court judge ordered portions declassified for congressional oversight 3 days ago. Miller arrived looking confident. He had his standard legal team, but he also brought a classification review officer, someone whose job is to stop witnesses from accidentally disclosing classified information in open hearings. Miller thought that officer would protect him. He did not realize the officer was there to watch him incriminate himself. The first 40 minutes were classified, closed session, questions about intelligence sharing protocols, Schiff access procedures, classified marking requirements. Then Schiff made his motion to declassify and open the session. And when those doors opened and the cameras turned on, Miller's expression changed. He knew what was coming. Mr. Miller, Schiff's voice was calm, clinical, the tone of a prosecutor presenting evidence to a grand jury. The intelligence community takes classified information security very seriously. Unauthorized disclosure of classified information is not just a policy violation. It is a federal crime under the Espionage Act. You understand this, correct? Miller nodded. Yes, Congressman. I have held security clearances for years, and I am fully aware of the legal requirements surrounding classified material handling. Good. Schiff opened the safe box and pulled out a document with visible classification markings. Because I want to make sure we are operating from the same understanding of what constitutes an unauthorized disclosure. He held up the document. This is an Office of the Director of National Intelligence Damage Assessment Report. It was prepared by the Intelligence Community Inspector General at the request of multiple agency heads who reported a pattern of classified information appearing in media reporting. He set it down. The assessment covers January through April of this year, and what it documents is 67 separate instances of classified information appearing in news articles, blog posts, and social media posts by journalists and commentators. The room went completely quiet. Schiff continued. Now, classified information leaks are not uncommon. Officials sometimes provide background briefings. Authorized disclosures happen. But this report did something very specific. It traced each leak back to its source. He pulled out another page. Every time someone accesses classified information on a government computer system, it creates a digital footprint. Login credentials, IP address, timestamp, document accessed. The intelligence community has very sophisticated tools for tracking this. He looked at Miller. Of the 67 classified leaks identified in this assessment, investigators were able to trace 51 of them to specific DHS computer terminals, and of those 51 leaks, 23 originated from IP addresses assigned to the Office of Policy. Your office, Mr. Miller. A murmur started in the gallery. Schiff was not waiting for a response. He was presenting the case methodically, piece by piece. Now, before you tell me this could be anyone in your office with access to those terminals, let me show you what else the investigators found. He pulled out a new document. This is a correlation analysis. It compares the timing of classified document access with the timing of media publication. He opened it to a flagged page. On February 3rd at 9:47 p.m., someone using your personal login credentials accessed a classified intelligence assessment about border surveillance operations. He paused. On February 4th at 6:15 a.m., 8 hours and 28 minutes later, a journalist published an article containing specific details from that classified assessment. Word-for-word quotes. Operational specifics, source descriptions. He set the paper down. On February 11th at 11:23 p.m., your credentials accessed a classified memo about interagency cooperation on counterintelligence investigations. On February 12th at 7:40 a.m., a different journalist published those details. The pattern repeated. February 19th, access at 10:05 p.m., publication at 8:30 a.m. the next day. March 3rd, access at 9:38 p.m., publication at 6 a.m. March 15th, access at 11:51 p.m., publication at 7:15 a.m. Schiff looked directly at Miller. 23 times, Mr. Miller. 23 times your login credentials accessed classified documents late at night, and 23 times within hours those exact details appeared in media reporting. Miller opened his mouth. Congressman, login credentials can be compromised. Other personnel in my office have administrative access for legitimate reasons, and your biometric authentication was used. Schiff's voice cut clean, precise. Every classified terminal in your office requires two-factor authentication. Login credentials plus either fingerprint or facial recognition. He pulled up another document. The access logs show your fingerprint authentication was used for every single one of these 23 accesses. Your fingerprint, Mr. Miller, not someone else's, not a compromised password. Your biometric data confirming you personally accessed these classified documents minutes before they leaked to the press. The room erupted, not with shouting, with the sharp collective realization that a congressman just documented espionage with biometric proof. Now I need to stop for a second and say this. If you believe leaking classified information 23 times is espionage, hype this video right now. The hype button is right next to like. You can hype 3 times a day for free. We have 7 days to get this into the top 100 most hyped videos on YouTube. Every single hype counts. Do it now. Then keep watching, because what Schiff reveals next proves Miller was paid for these leaks. Schiff waited for silence. Mr. Miller, I have not even shown you the worst part yet. Because after the intelligence community traced these leaks to your terminal, they did something else. They analyzed the content of what was leaked. He pulled out a thick folder. Of the 23 leaks traced to your access, 19 of them disclosed information that directly benefited foreign intelligence services. He opened the folder. One leak revealed the identity of a confidential human source providing information about transnational criminal organizations. That source disappeared 2 weeks after the leak. Presumed compromised. Another leak disclosed specific surveillance methods used by DHS to track illicit financial transactions. Within days, those methods stopped producing intelligence. The targets had changed their operational security. He kept reading. Another leak revealed ongoing cooperation between DHS and a foreign intelligence service on a counter-terrorism operation. That operation had to be shut down because the leak compromised operational security. Schiff set the folder down. Mr. Miller, You did not just leak classified information to journalists. You leaked information that endangered sources, compromised operations, and benefited foreign adversaries. That is not whistleblowing. That is espionage. Miller's attorney tried to stand. The chairman pointed at her. "Sit down. Your client will answer." But Miller did not answer. And that is when the silence started. Schiff pulled out his phone, opened the stopwatch app, held it up so the room could see. "Mr. Miller, I am going to ask you one direct question, and I'm going to time how long you refuse to answer it." He pressed start. "Why did you use your biometric authentication to access classified documents 23 times and leak them to media outlets within hours, causing damage to national security operations and endangering intelligence sources?" The room went dead silent. 10 seconds. Miller's jaw clenched so hard the muscle in his neck bulged. 20 seconds. His lead attorney was writing frantically, underlining something 3 times. 30 seconds. A Republican committee member spoke. "Adam, if what you are saying is accurate, this is not just a leak. This is a violation of 18 U.S.C. 798. This is Espionage Act territory." Miller said nothing. 40 seconds. Schiff stood up, still holding the stopwatch. "Mr. Miller, I chaired the Intelligence Committee. I have investigated foreign intelligence operations. I have seen what espionage looks like when it is conducted by foreign agents." He walked toward the witness table, "and I know what it looks like when it's conducted by American officials." 50 seconds. Because here is what the damage assessment also found. They did not just trace the leaks. They traced the money. 60 seconds, 1 full minute. Schiff walked back to the safe box, pulled out one more document. "This is a financial analysis prepared by Treasury's Financial Crimes Enforcement Network, FinCEN. After the leaks were traced to your terminal, investigators obtained a warrant to examine your financial records." He held it up. "Between February and April, you received 11 wire transfers to your personal bank account. Total amount, $340,000. The transfers came from a consulting firm registered in the Cayman Islands. That consulting firm is owned by a shell corporation. That shell corporation has known ties to foreign intelligence operations." 70 seconds. Miller's face had gone completely white. 80 seconds. Schiff read from the report. "The timing of these payments correlates directly with the timing of the leaks. February 5th, 1 day after the first leak, you received $28,000. February 13th, 1 day after the second leak, $31,000. March 4th, 1 day after the third leak, $29,000. The pattern continued. 23 leaks, 11 payments, $340,000 total. You were paid for classified information, Mr. Miller. That is not leaking. That is selling national security secrets." 90 seconds. A Democrat from California leaned into her microphone. "Mr. Chairman, this is espionage. This needs to be referred to DOJ immediately." 95 seconds. Schiff stopped, looked at his watch. "Mr. Miller, I'm going to count to 96, and then I'm going to move to refer this to the Department of Justice and the FBI for immediate investigation." 96. He stopped the timer, 1 minute and 36 seconds. He turned to the committee. "Mr. Chairman, the witness has refused to answer. I move to refer this matter immediately to the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation for criminal investigation under 18 U.S.C. 798, disclosure of classified information, and 18 U.S.C. 794, gathering or delivering defense information to aid a foreign government. I further move to refer this to the Office of the Director of National Intelligence for immediate security clearance revocation and damage mitigation." All motions seconded instantly. All passed unanimously. Republicans and Democrats. Every single vote. Schiff gathered his materials. "Mr. Miller?" 96 seconds. "That is how long you sat here, rather than explain why you accessed classified documents 23 times using your fingerprint authentication and leaked them to media outlets hours later while receiving $340,000 in payments from a foreign-linked shell company." He held up the damage assessment. "One intelligence source is missing, presumed compromised because of your leaks. Multiple operations were shut down. Foreign adversaries gained insight into American intelligence methods, and you received $340,000. He paused. "This is not a policy disagreement, Mr. Miller. This is not whistleblowing. This is espionage. You sold classified information that endangered American lives and national security, and you just sat here for 96 seconds, refusing to deny it. The hearing adjourned immediately. Miller was escorted out by Capitol Police and FBI agents who had been waiting outside. His attorneys surrounded him, but there were already federal agents taking him into custody. Adam Schiff had just done what he does best. He built an intelligence case with biometric evidence, financial records, and damage assessments. And he proved not just that leaks happened, but that Miller personally accessed the information, leaked it within hours, and got paid by foreign-linked entities. This is not speculation. This is ODNI damage assessment. This is biometric authentication logs. This is FinCEN financial analysis. This is correlation between access, publication, and payment. 67 leaks total. 23 traced to Miller's fingerprint. $340,000 in payments. One intelligence source missing. And 96 seconds where Miller could have denied it, but chose silence instead. Subscribe to Patel Report Files right now, because tomorrow we reveal which journalists received the leaked information and whether they knew it was classified. This investigation is not over. It is expanding. Share this everywhere. Classified information was sold to foreign-linked entities. An intelligence source is missing, and the person who did it just got arrested after refusing to answer for 96 seconds. 1 minute and 36 seconds. That is all it took to prove Stephen Miller committed espionage, and every second is documented.